Miller. This is a fun one, Todd. This is a question that we get almost every class we teach, and we get this in the leadership class. We get this in the product owner class. We get it everywhere, and so we're just going to jump right into it.
And can I say, Ryan, I've done this.
I've done this too.
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk about the times where it could make sense, but I think as people can see, we're leaning in a direction on this question before we even pose it. This is one that gets a lot of blood boiling. It gets a lot of pulses up. Can one person be both the Scrum Master and the product owner on a Scrum team? All right. So I think we're going to go into our first thought. No. No. It's like, this is the Vader. No.
Yeah.
Okay. The Scrum Guide does not forbid this. So let's back up a minute. All silliness aside, it is allowed. One person can perform both roles according to the Scrum Guide. It's not forbidden, but let's talk about this.
Yes, but and this is a huge capital but.
Right.
So they are very distinct accountabilities in Scrum, product owner and Scrum Master. And they should at sometimes have some conflict between the two, right? And as a Scrum Master, you're upholding Scrum, and as a product owner, you're trying to maximize the value. And a lot of that, as a product owner, you can't help but want more. Like we always joke around, right? That's that song that is made for a product owner. What is it, Ryan?
I want it all.
Yeah. Good.
I don't want to sing another bar because I don't want people to click off the video and then DMCA and I don't want the video taken down. So please don't click away. I promise not to sing anymore.
So these are two very distinct accountabilities. And so my first point there is that they should at sometimes be a conflict with one another. Conflict isn't bad, by the way. It's okay to have conflict. And they should sometimes be pushing and pulling. There should be healthy conflict between a Scrum Master and a product owner.
Productive dissent is valuable, right?
Yeah.
Very valuable.
Yeah, and you can't have productive dissent when you're as a single person. You can't be productively against
like, no, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. Yeah, it doesn't work. And so I think where we're going with this is especially when things get difficult or when there's a big decision to be made. One role, one of these accountabilities will get dropped, right? And one will take over. And then we're missing a third of the accountabilities needed for Scrum to be successful. No, if I'm both, I've been in the situation where I let the Scrum Master side drop and I focus solely on product owner. And so, and you can't help it. At some point, push comes to shove and you go all in.
And, let me ask you. So Ryan, I've been in this circumstance too. And, thinking back, think about the brain pain that you had. It's not healthy when you're trying to think in one aspect of the world, you're trying to think as a Scrum Master, and another, you're trying to think of a product owner. It just hurts. I'll call it brain pain. Is that fair to say? It's like this pushing and this pulling, and you just don't know which hat to put on and when to put it on. It's very difficult.
Well, and you go home at night and you realize that you're performing two accountabilities either in a mediocre or poor way. And that's not sustainable. And that's not for good mental health. I mean, no one likes going home thinking that they're not doing a great job. But also what happens when it comes out in a retro that by your product ownership is lacking. And so now there's some guilt and you need to turn product ownership up, but then your Scrum Master role or accountabilities are dropping. Or what if you have to be the Scrum Master who facilitates the retro about how bad you are at being a product owner? Right? All these different weird situations, right? Yeah. And so we highly discourage this. These accountabilities are meant to be performed by individuals. We bring in a lot of difficulty. We bring in a lot of risk. We add complexity by having people perform multiple accountabilities. But I will say this. As a short-term stopgap, I don't have such a big problem with this.
Short-term, knowing that it needs to, let's say it has an expiration period on it that is very short-term.
Right. And I think this is where it could possibly make sense. And these are the situations that I found myself in, that we had the job posting for an official product owner. I had some experience, but my heart was really in the Scrum Master accountability and in the role. And so I said, fine, I'll do both. but I want to be involved in the hiring of that product owner so that we can actually get that person in and get them productive quickly. And within 2 to 3 months, we had a product owner. We got them up to speed, and I could go back to being a sane Scrum Master.
Yeah.
And I think that was an okay path. But let's be clear, this is not the ideal. This leads to a lot of dysfunction. It leads to a lot of complexity. And let's face it, life and product development, they're complex enough.
Yeah, and you're so busy. Like, how does one person have the time to do all of this stuff?
Yeah, the product owner role is so big. The Scrum Master role is so big. And again, things just drop. And so we end up doing neither role well, and that's no good for anybody. So yes, the Scrum Guide allows it. Our no was a joke, but not really.
Yeah.
Let's be careful with this.
Yeah, work your way out of it. If you find yourself in this circumstance, hopefully some of the things that we talked about here will help you work your way out of it. This could be something that you're having to interface with management on, to talk to them about why this isn't a good idea, right? So good luck. We strongly believe that you will be better off if you have two people that assume these different responsibilities.
All right. Be sure to smash that subscribe button so that
Smash it. Smash that subscribe button.
I just broke my mouse. I hit it so hard. We want you to know when new videos come out, so that'll help you get those notifications. Check out our book, Fixing Your Scrum, Practical Solutions to Common Scrum Problems. Thank you for watching. Leave us a comment, right? If there's something you want to know about, leave it in the comment. If there is a situation where you've performed both roles and it went well, prove us wrong. Let us know about that.
Yep.
But until then, we'll see you tomorrow.